guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mdea J, and today's video is finally going to be the XX Revolution full face trying on video. You guys can see the big old explosion palette over there. We're going to be using that one today. We're going to be trying out the foundations, the face compact, the primer, the lip gloss, the brow products, the light. We're going to be trying it all out. Alright, the mini eyeshadow palettes, the quads, I was thinking I could break the videos up and do another look using those palettes and do a review using those palettes. So anyway, I'm going to use as much as I can in this first impression testing out. So grab your popcorn and let's get into it. And if you haven't seen my full unboxing of the whole XX Revolution, so all the products that I received, because obviously that's not the entire collection, then I want you to pause this video, check the description box below for that video because it will make sense. Okay? Alright guys, see you in a bit. So I've adjusted my lights to kind of give me like full, as I can see myself in the mirror, so I'm hoping that's working. So we're not going to go into too much detail about what the products are, so let's just jump in. I've done my full face moisturizer skincare stuff offline, and I used the new Ofra Cosmetics skincare line you guys saw me unbox in my last unboxing video. So if you haven't seen that video as well, make sure you check that out after this one. So I'm going to start off with primers. So in the video that I unboxed, we do have quite a number of primers, but I've decided to use these two. They're both primers, but I just want to use them together. So this is the Hydra Quench primer. That's the one with the droplets, and then this is the Cloud one, and this is the Cloud Complexion Primer. So the Cloud Complexion Soft Touch Primer, silky blurred finish with subtle iridescent radiance, and then we've got the Hydra Quench Balm with 70% water and a high concentration of aloe vera. So I'm going to try the hydration one first and see what it looks like. This is the one that had the jelly-like look, so that's what it looks like. I've got my nails on, so I'm just going to use a brush to apply this. I'm just going to apply this to this half of my face, and then I'm going to apply the Cloud one on the other half. But this does feel really hydrating on my skin. It is giving me a tacky consistency, which is great for my foundation, but it does feel really hydrating so far. And then the Cloud one, it's what it looks like on the brush, white. So I don't like primers like this where it takes a certain type of skincare for it not to kind of like flake and peel and stuff like that. It just feels like it's not smoothing out. It does feel really hydrating. My skin does feel a little bit tacky, but you just really have to push it in and take off any excess. I don't really like that. I kind of prefer what the Hydra... Yeah, I kind of prefer what the Hydra Quench has done to my skin, so... Okay. I don't really see much iridescence on my skin, and I don't see any blurring. I don't see any blurring on my pores, but you guys should let me know what you see. Man, I don't see much, but this one I do see hydration, and yeah. This side, not too much. Normally, I like to fix my primer with the fixing spray. So this one is the Fix Mist. As I said in the previous video, it comes in other colors. And it contains vitamin E, tea tree, and papaya. Next, we're going to be using the foundations. Now, I swatched 5 shades in that video. So go and check it out if you want to see what the shades are. But from the video, I realized I could be in between both shades, or either or could work for me. And this is shade 14.5 14.5 and 14.7, and we're using the Liquid Skin Foundation, the Double Fix one. So this is the one we are trying out today. We're not trying out the luminous one today, trying this one. And it says it's got a silk finish, long wear, liquid skin foundation, full coverage for flawless complexion, infused with vitamin E and hyaluronic acid to hydrate the skin. Okay, so I'm going to swatch both shades on my skin off camera and shade match myself, but I know either I'm in between or it's either or, so be right back. So this is 14.5 and this is 14.7. 14.7 is a little red, 14.5 is a little cooler, and I lean more to cool tone finish, so we're going to go with 14.5. So I'm going to initially put 2 pumps on my hand, see where that gets me, and I'm going to be using Morphe RG6 brush to apply that. I will go over it with a sponge, because that's how I normally apply my foundation, so let's see. And I'll probably go back in for more pumps, but even the 14.5 still has a really red undertone, but let's see how she finishes. So in total, I used 6 pumps to finish my face. Not too bad considering that the amount that comes out isn't a lot compared to some foundations. So it's not bad, 6 pumps. I do like the finish. It's not as full coverage as I would like it to be, but let's just carry on and I'll give my final thoughts at the end of the video. But so far, I do like the finish, and it is drying down. Like, I have combination to oily skin, and the primers I used are hydrating primers, but I can feel this really drying down, like a matte finish or semi-matte finish. So next, guys, I'm going to do my brows, and I'm going to use the XX Fine Brow, and this one is in shade Deep Brown. So we're just going to speed through this and I'll tell you guys my thoughts after it, because we know brows take Right, you guys, I don't know how much these brow pencils are gonna be. I just hope, I pray that they are refillable, because I thought my brows was gonna take forever. So quick, and this spoolie, guys, is strong. Brushed up my hairs, nice and full. I haven't tweezed or done anything to my brows because of the lockdown, but my brows are looking great. And this pencil is very, very soft, so no pressure, just to fill in my brows. Okay, alright. So my brows are done and shaped, and I'm going to be using the P. Louise base for this, and this is Room 5 because this is what I use for a majority of my looks. So I'm just going to carry on with that, and we're going to be using this big bad boy today. We're going to be using the Explosion Shadow Palette. This has 66 shades, and it is an array of neutrals with pops of darker colors underneath, and that is what she looks like. Those middle shades are gorgeous. In my previous video I said I could probably use them as a highlighter, so because they don't have shade names, yeah, we're gonna see how we'll do this because it's such a big palette. So let's just jump into this. I'm going to go ahead and prime my lid. I'm going to start off with one eye. Whatever I do on one eye, I will repeat on the other. So we're going to do one eye together so I can get nice first impression with you guys. I don't even know what look I want to create. I know this morning I said to myself, I know I want to do like a nude look because I don't do many of those anymore. Do a few, but not as many. But I changed my mind. How about we do 2 eye looks? I hope you guys don't mind if this video is long because I really do want to test this out. So let's do 2 eye looks. One is going to be the colorful side and one is going to be a neutral side. Change my mind. So I'm going to go in with this dark brown shade. I'm going to build that in the outer corner. There is a little bit of kickback in the palette, but that is what most palettes are like nowadays, so no worries there. Very, very pigmented, transferring onto the lid quite nicely. Next, I'm going to blend this. It's like a really, really neutral brown color. I'm going to use that to blend the edge of this and also take it into my crease. I'm using that as my transition shade. This color has no kickback in the pan, funny enough. But it's like your soft, neutral brown, perfect for like everyday wear. I'm also going to mix it with this orangish brown shade just to give me some more color in there. Going back with our brown shade to kind of deepen the crease a little bit as I lost some color during the blend, and they are blending on top of each other really beautifully. Like the colors are layering quite nicely. What the blend is looking like so far. Honestly, you can put a shimmer shade on the lid, call it a day, you're done. So we're gonna do 2 shimmers. I'm gonna use one in the big pan and just I don't know, a random one, so we'll see. So I'm gonna try the big shimmer without any spray or anything, straight onto the brush, onto my wow, onto my lid, but I'm not taking it all the way in as I want to use another. Oh my god, this is so pretty. I want to use another shade. Wow, this is so pretty. Okay, perfect. That didn't even take me a second. And then I'm going to go in with this shade. It looks like it's got some pressed pigment qualities type of thing. Again, not spraying anything. I'm not using any adhesive. I'm going straight onto the lid. I want to see what the color payoff is. What it's looking like so far. To tie it all in, I'm going to go in again with that brown shade and really work it into the crease. Honestly, you guys, I feel like a color is missing around the edge. I'm gently going to blend this kind of like coral shade that picks up so well on the brush. And I'm honestly just blowing out the edge. To give it a really beautiful pink moment. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the under eye. Oh, so pretty. And then we're going to do the colors on the other side. Alright, so the first shade I'm going to go in with that Lonely blue shade, and it's not picking up the greatest on my brush. A lot of kickback in the pan, but I always say it doesn't bother me as long as pigmentation is there. Taking quite a lot of build by such a beautiful color. Oh, so stunning. And just blending that ever so gently. I'm going to go back into that blue shade again, but just with the tiniest product. I'm just going to blend the edge. Just because there aren't that many colors I can use and I don't want it to look muddy. I also don't want to lose the flavor of the blue shade. Right, there is a blackish shade in there, so I'm going to go in with that to deepen the blue a little bit. I'm bringing that into my crease a little bit, and that's blending quite nicely on the blue actually. Blending that out with the first brush. I really want to do like a smoky look. Now this kind of like khaki shimmery green color, I'm gonna put that on my lid. Wow, that is a beautiful color. Beautiful. I'm not taking it all the way in, I'm just placing that. So that lilac shade, I'm just playing with this. I'm just gonna pop it in the inner corner. Take it onto the lid a little bit. See what that looks like. It's pretty lilac shade, very, very shimmery. I'm just gonna go back and blend. The lilac is definitely not giving me life, and also I feel like I need an extra blend. So I'm gonna go in with this like muted neutral color just to blend out any edges. So very, very muted. I love colors like this because they're just great for making sure that the colors are blended. I definitely need some shimmer in the inner corner. So I'm going to go in with this color. This one is like, it's one of the big shimmer shades in the middle. And it's very pretty. So let's hope that she comes off as pretty as she looks in the pan. Yep, much better. Yeah, it looks way better, more awake. Yes. Okay, that is definitely much better than that purple. My lower lash line, I want to have some fun, so I'm going to use that bluish green shade again. I'm going to pop that in the outer corner, and then I'm going to use a purple on the inner corner. I think this looks more green than blue in my eyes anyway. Wow, that purple is gorgeous. I'm just going in with this plum shade underneath just to blend the edge. So I am going to line my waterline, and I'm going to use the Exact eyeliner. It's a twist up eye pencil in Coal, I believe. So next I'm going to move on to my concealer. I picked shades for my contour and I picked shades to conceal. So I've picked 14.5 to use underneath my eye, and I'm not sure which tone I'm going to use, but I've got CX16 and CX15 to use to contour. So let's start off with the concealer. So the concealer is marketed as a super fix concealer, crease proof, life proof, that's the bit I love the most, full coverage concealer. It conceals and brightens skin, covering blemishes, dark circles and redness. So it's got a doe foot applicator. Definitely guys, you need to go and watch that video if you haven't. But I'm just gonna go in and it's a very creamy consistency. Very, very creamy. Almost applies as creamy as the foundation. This isn't going to highlight me much. I see this more as a concealing color just because it's so close to my skin tone. The shade I used was 14.5 as my foundation, so this kind of like looks like my foundation, but I'm not too mad at it. thing is no joke, full ass coverage, like, and it sits on the foundation like a dream. Honestly, you guys, like, that is really full coverage. So this is CX16, CX15 is that one. So I think I'm gonna use CX16 because I really just want something warm. Right, guys, like, look at that color. Look at that color. That color is gorgeous. Like, yes, it's beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and set it, and I'm going to use my Juvia's Place I Am Magic powder. That's pretty much what I use to set everything. I didn't get a setting powder in this collection. Doesn't mean that there isn't one. I just didn't get one. So in case if you guys haven't watched the video and you're here, the collection is coming out on the 3rd of June. It's the brand to Makeup Revolution. Right, you guys, looking at my face, it's fully set. One thing I would say is, because the foundation is so full coverage and so is the concealer, it's, if you layer it, you can have a cakey face and you don't want that. So definitely don't layer the foundation. I layered it, so that's probably why it feels like it looks a little bit cakey. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to set my face with powder because that's the next step I normally do. I'm going to skip that altogether just so that it doesn't feel cakey or look cakey. So I'm going to use the Complexion Palette, and this is shade Dimension. From the photographs, it looks like it's the darkest one. So I'm gonna very ever so lightly, because I swatched this in my unboxing video and the pigmentation. So honestly, like, yeah, like, no more than that to start with and see where we get to. So do you see that tiny bit? Oh my god. Yeah, it is not my shade. But we're testing it. We're testing it for quality. Definitely not my shade. I feel like a shade before this one would work for me, because this is really, really dark. But yeah. But even with that tiny thing, you can see how sculpted my face really looks. Like, so pigmented and so beautiful at the same time. I'm going to go in with the blush. This blush, guys. Swatch that as well in the video, and it is blinding. So I'm going to use this brush. And again, like... Do you see? Like, I literally went... It is so pigmented and so beautiful. Gosh, it is so beautiful. Oh my god, it's so pigmented. It's crazy. It's crazy how pigmented it is. But it's so pretty, and it just sits on my skin, beep, so nicely. Take it up. I'm gonna take it there with the blush, because it's that pigmented. It begs to be taken now. Just bring a little bit on my nose, like, oh. Now for highlighter, I'm torn between the shade in the middle and this highlighter in Fusebox, which looks like this one. So I think the one in the compact is a little darker than the one I'm holding. So I'm going to go with the one that I'm holding. I'm going to go in with this shade called Fusebox, which isn't my color either, but there is another one that's lighter than this one that I'll probably purchase. But I want to test the quality of them. Ooh, it's pretty. It's definitely not the type of color I would go for, but it is very, very pretty. I'm not too sure where the camera cut off on me, but I hope to death it was when I was applying the highlighter, because yeah. So off camera, I applied my lashes, as you can see, and we are looking beautiful. I want to say the highlighter is totally different. The color is different from anything I would use. So let's just move on to lips. So I'm going to line my lips using the MUA Cosmetics Obsession Liner, and I'm going to go in with the Gerard Cosmetics Bare It All Hydra Matte Lipstick. So because I want to test the gloss that comes in this collection, so let's just get it. I'm going to go in with the gloss, and the shade that I have is Strike, and it's got iridescent shimmers in it. It's so pretty. Love the packaging as well. So, okay. Yes, honey, give it to me. I dip back again, guys. I normally always wipe my wand off camera. You guys never see me do this, but I always wipe it because I do lip swatches, and so the color has to remain true. That is such a pretty gloss. Oh my gosh, pretty. So last step, I'm going to spray my face again with the Face Fix. And so this is the finished look, guys, and I am in love with it. I look so grown up, like it's just absolutely stunning. So let's start from the top. So the two primers that I used. So I used the Hydra Quench and the Cloud Primer. I prefer the Hydra Quench just because of the fact that the Cloud one was giving me extra particles. These kind of primers are the ones you really need to test alongside different types of skincare, especially your moisturizer, as it sometimes doesn't work well. Depending on the moisturizer, it just flakes up, and then foundation doesn't sit properly on it, and it looks like it's peeling off your face. So wasn't too in love with this one, but I did love how hydrating this one felt, and I loved how sticky my face was. It allowed for the foundation to sit on it quite nicely. So moving on to the foundation, a lot of these things I mentioned in my unboxing video, but I absolutely love the Luxe packaging. Reminds me of Tom Ford 100%. Love the XX detail, love the detail of the foundation color at the bottom. I love the pump applicator as well. I think that this foundation is really nice. It is medium buildable coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage, but the buildable is a little bit questionable. Now, I'm not too sure if it's because of the primer I used underneath. That's why I felt like you couldn't layer the foundation. Could be, but layering the foundation, it just made it look cakey. It made it look like it wasn't sitting properly on my face. So I need to test this out again with another primer. But in terms of the consistency, it's a really nice consistency. It glides onto the skin quite nicely, works well with a brush, works well with a sponge. I love the coverage of it. I absolutely do. I just need to test how full coverage it can be, but in terms of the color, it's really nice. I think it worked together. It suits my skin tone quite nicely, and I like the fact that they have a yellowish version and a reddish version with a 14.5 and 14.7. I really love the shade range in that respect. So yeah, definitely a foundation I am going to be reaching for. And then for the concealer, I have only one con. First of all, the pro. I love the Luxe packaging again. I love the fact that it matches really well with the foundation. I love that you've got a cool tone version, warm tone version, especially with the concealers I use to contour. I really like that variation. So people like more of a cooler contour. Some people like more of a warmer contour, which is more like what I tend to go for. Coverage wise, brilliant. Absolutely gorgeous coverage. Smooth blend. Love the consistency. The only thing I don't like is the applicator. Now, it's a little bit forceful to get it out, and sometimes, as you can see, sometimes product can easily get, can splash just because you're trying to take it out and then dip it back in. So again, see, that's the only con. I don't really like that. I wish the applicator didn't kind of like stick before you have to yank it out. It would be nice if it just comes out, pops back in quite easily. But that's about the only con I can think of. Still love the Luxe look. Will definitely be reaching for this one again. And then the face fix. I can't really say it did much. It felt really hydrating. I love the smell. Obviously this isn't a wear test because I ain't going nowhere. I'm doing a wear test indoors. I'm not in the elements. It's just not a true reflection of what a wear test should be. But the face fix does smell really nice. Love the projection of the spray, and yeah, it felt really, really hydrating. I can't really say if it held my makeup in place, but it did feel really nourishing, and I absolutely love the smell. Next are the two jobbies, the two little pencil thingies. First is the brow pencil. Now guys, this may be actually my favorite in this no, I like the gloss. Ooh. This is one of my favorites in the entire collection that I've tried today. This brow product is amazing. Do you guys see my brows? You would actually think that I've had them tweezed, whereas I haven't touched them in the last 6 to 7 weeks. Like honestly, the precision on this pencil, the color, how soft it is so realistic. I'm just praying somehow that it's either really, really affordable, or they do sell refillables and it's easy to refill it. I'm just waiting, but this is definitely going to be a staple in my collection. I absolutely love this brow product. I've got nothing bad to say about it. Amazing, plus the packaging is so gorgeous. The Exact eyeliner. Don't really like this. I liked it when I applied it. It looked really pigmented, glided on smoothly. It's very soft, no tugging, but I had to apply it again off camera because I felt like it was wearing off, like it wasn't staying in my waterline, which is really weird for an eyeliner. So again, I have to test this one to see if it's just, I don't know if it's just me or if that is the way it's performing, but I'm on the fence with the eyeliner. I need to test it. But in terms of consistency, it is very, very black, very soft, and very easy to use. Love the packaging as well. And then the Complexion Palette. This one is Dimension. You guys know what I'm gonna say about this. This is definitely not my color, so it's very difficult to give a true review about this complexion palette. So I only talk about the consistency. Consistency of that contour shade. Is it supposed to be a bronzer? I don't know because it's so dark. I would say it's more supposed to be a bronzer, but I use it as a contour today because it is that dark. I'm hoping that the shade lighter than this one would work really nicely with my skin tone. But in terms of the consistency, it is very, very pigmented, very smooth, very easy to apply. A little goes a long way, honestly. That blush as well, absolutely stunning. Like, it brought the whole look together and it still lasts. A lot of the time, the blushes kind of wear off, but you can still see the blush is still there. Very beautiful. Didn't try the highlighter in this round because it is quite dark. Moving on to highlighters. So I tried the Fusebox Highlighter. This isn't a shade I would reach for normally because it is very dark, but I do love the consistency of it. I love that it isn't like shiny. You know, like there's some highlighters that just shine and very distracting. This kind of looks really grown up, really refreshing, very beautiful, very natural on the skin, and I really love that. I really love that. Love the engraving, embossing on the packaging. I think that is very stunning. Love the play of the X's as well. Really nice, compact, comes with a mirror. This as well comes with a mirror. It's just so luxe, and honestly, consistency wise, it is beautiful, and I would definitely use it again as a highlighter, because this is just not naturally anything I would gravitate towards, but I am living for it. So yeah, I'm leaving the eyeshadow palette to last, if you could tell. So next is the gloss, guys. Look at my lips, honey. It is so nice. It isn't sticky, annoying, irritating, none of that. Love the doe foot applicator. I love the packaging. It's so beautiful, so comfortable on my lips, work really well with my matte liquid lipstick, and it's just so pretty. I can still see all the iridescence. I can see everything. It's so pretty. Absolutely love this gloss, and I will definitely be picking more of it, because honestly, the pout it's giving me, I'm like, girl, yes. Last but not the least is the Explosion palette, and I've got a lot to say about this palette. Now, first of all, does anybody need an eyeshadow palette this size? You could argue no, but I know there are people out there, I know people out there that would appreciate a 66 color eyeshadow palette if it meant they never have to go eyeshadow shopping again in their life. Once this expires, they just repurchase it. And the only reason why I say that is I know some people that only live in neutral colors with pops of color, and they want one-stop palette for highlighter, one-stop palette for going out looks, everyday looks. So this palette gives them everything. Did Revolution have to do 66 colors? Probably not, but that is the shock of the palette. It's an explosion. It says extra shades, extra color, just extra. So this is Revolution. This is XX Revolution being extra, and it's extra fabulous in my opinion. First of all, let's talk about the shade range. I love the neutral colors at the top. I love the smoky colors, the pops of color at the bottom. I just wish they extended. I just wish. It's so difficult to get this thing in frame and speak, so I'm just gonna hold it like this. I just wish the more darker colors were more. So the blue and the black are just two lonely colors in the corner. They could have done with a bit more blues, a bit more purple in here, a bit more greens. Like there's only one shimmer green in here, so that is the only con. For me, there are way more neutrals than there are any colors. So even for people that love neutral looks but with pops of color, they will still struggle to get every pop of color that they need. So Revolution could have easily swapped out some of this repetitive neutral shades with pops of color. In terms of the consistency and the blend, you guys can judge for yourself. Like, honestly, guys, I don't know where the camera stopped me because it's just stopped recording. But what I was saying is that this palette is great for anyone who's either new to makeup, you want to practice bridal looks, everyday looks, you just want a palette to give you everything that you need in a day. This is your gal. You probably need to get some more pops of color if that is what you're interested in. But in terms of neutrals and shimmers and mattes, they blend beautifully, and it is an amazing eyeshadow palette. Now, the one con for me, and this is just because I've been exposed to so many eyeshadow palettes, so I can pick things apart, is the cardboard packaging of it. I don't like that. I don't like cardboard packaging for something as delicate as this. You've got 66 eyeshadows in this. If I drop this, it's a goner. Honestly, I feel like it's a goner because it is cardboard packaging. Plus, it's open to staining quite easily. So I've spilled a little bit of foundation. I tried cleaning it off and it just won't move. So things like that really piss me off. But I'm not sure if that matters to any of you, but I've got a nice little place right here that I store her just because of the size, and I need to protect her. So that is about the only con I have for the eyeshadow palette. I think is value for money, and I think the colors are stunning and they blended quite easily. Definitely one of Revolution's better quality palettes. They put in quite a lot into the eyeshadow palette formula, and I am here for it. And that is it, guys. That is all the products that I've tried today from XX Revolution. As I said, this collection will be out on the 3rd of June. I'm hoping to try the Luminous Foundation and one of the other poured eyeshadow palettes. I might actually use the two and do separate looks like I've done today. So yeah, and we'll be trying another primer in that look as well. So hopefully I should get that recorded as soon as possible and out for you guys before the 3rd of June. But yeah, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the collection so far, about what I've tried. Did you see any favorites? Anything that you're excited for? Anything that you're intrigued about? Any thoughts? I'm always happy to have conversations in the comment box with you guys. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I will catch you in a future video. Now remember, God doesn't like ugly, so be nice to someone today, and I will catch you in a future one. Just as a side note, just because I didn't mention it, this wig is wigit.co.uk, and I do have a review on it, and I will link it in the description box just in case if you're interested, because I know someone always is. So yeah, and I'll catch you guys soon.